Alright guys, so today we are gutting the interior. We have a lot of old vinyl and plywood up on the cabin top that we need to take care of.
And as you guys know, we love gutting boats. So we're starting with the V-berth. We've got pretty much everything out of here removed.
Holy crap.
Watch out for that. Randy's wearing her work clothes. I guess it was getting a little dusty up there. We got the first piece down. We've got all of the wood removed up there and just raw fiberglass, and then we got the veneer wood removed right here, but it looks like it was epoxied in place, so we're probably not going to remove that. But we are removing these panels here. Randy's working on that. Removing this as well, because we're probably just going to expose the raw fiberglass and potentially paint it, because this whole area is actually going to be used for storage, not for sleeping. So this is going to be our big storage closet. There he is. Obviously, all these old crevices are places for things like that to hide.
That's our first like live creature though. That's gross.
Yeah, we found rat poop already, so we know that there's just crap literally behind all these panels, so that's why we want to remove them. Clean everything and put new panels back up that are more or less removable so we can get to everything. I got all the screws.
Yeah, you got to pull the bottom. Yeah, you got it.
I don't see a cockroach.
Good, good, good.
So this is what a gutted V-berth on an Endeavor 32 looks like.
Needs a good cleaning. It's coming down pretty easy.
Yeah. And then this foam isn't really...
There's like a lot of staples though.
Yeah, this foam isn't really adhered to the plywood underneath, so...
That's good.
This is a lot better than our last time we removed headliner.
Yeah. Wow, that was a big piece. Woohoo!
Alright, so now that the V-berth is pretty much done, we have to shuffle all the crap that's kind of in the salon up to the V-berth. So the shuffle is real. All this stuff, like our bedding and whatnot. All that crap. So it looks like this plywood goes underneath this frame. So I think the best bet is going to be to remove all this excess right here, right up into the frame. So remove it all up to like there, and then take the Dremel oscillating tool and go along the frame and cut through this plywood. Call it a success. One thing I wanted to say though is don't expect eyeglasses to work as eye protection. I had a respirator on, but I just had my glasses on, figuring that'd be enough, but definitely got a lot of dust in my eyes. So, like blinking a bunch, try to get it out.
Can I take that gallon of water next to you and flush out your eyes?
When it comes to safety, our official stance is always wear full eye protection. I just got this area done. This area is done. Randy's working on the quarter berth up there, and I'm working right up here. Let me show you what's going on right here. So each side actually looks like this right here, but there's two layers of looks like 3/4 inch or 1/2 inch plywood on these areas. It's the exterior plywood that's actually kind of rotting off. So this side I started peeling away, And as you can see, the exterior plywood just pulls right off, and Randy's in the danger zone right now.
Yeah.
But these just pull right off, and it leaves this plywood here. And I think this looks good to me. So
Really?
we just have to maybe either repaint this or put another piece of plywood over it.
Oh snap!
Doesn't it look
Or
good?
like a veneer. Just put a veneer on that.
Something. We'll figure that out, but I think we're going to leave that there because that looks pretty good.
Alright, we previously mentioned this cool little tool that a company sent out to us. It's a Suaoki. We are trying our hardest to pronounce that correctly. Little electric generator.
We're also kind of trying our hardest to break it.
Yeah, honestly, we've like put it through some tough times, but we're going to test it out again with the Dremel. Oh, it cuts out right away.
Yeah, it's not enough power.
Just kidding. We also tried to vacuum with it. But I mean, it's pretty cool for like charging your phones and stuff. Just nothing like that requires a lot of amperage. Is that the right word?
Yeah, just nothing that requires a lot of power. 500 total watt hours. It's like around 20 amp hours at 12 volts or so, if you wanted to compare it to a marine battery. The reason why we got it was obviously Suaoki sent it to us for free, but we also thought it was a good idea to have a board. It's just a good little backup power source. Obviously it's not enough to run tools, but
or a vacuum.
Or a vacuum, but you know, it's good for a laptop, it's good for an iPad, things like that. The biggest reason why I wanted a board and why I'm happy with it is going to be because cruising offshore, you never know what's going to happen. Having that redundancy and that extra power is good because, let's say you get hit by lightning or something like that, you lose all your electronics. Well, our backups are going to be like an iPad for GPS, our phones for GPS and stuff like that. Well, you know, it's a good way to charge those in case for some reason we got hit by lightning and our batteries, our house bank isn't working and blah blah blah. It's an extra thing to have that, you know, will provide a little more safety, a little more security at sea for us. Charging our phones and charging like a tablet and everything for backup GPS is definitely pretty important. It has a little inverter on it, so you can do AC charging. It's got direct DC charging, and you can attach a solar panel directly to it. And you can also charge it with regular power, so DC in or AC in. You can always monitor how much power you're using, your input and your two outputs for AC and DC.
Alright, so we had finished the destruction for the day and taken down all of the panels and plywood from the top of the cabin. And we had cleaned up and we were looking all nice and spiffy in here. And then we started playing a game called the chicken or the egg. And what should we do first or next in order to be most successful? Because we were thinking about our port lights. We have our hardware in, hopefully delivered today, for the port lights that we are installing in the back. However, before we can install these port lights, we need to put on the plywood veneer. But then we started thinking about how before we do the plywood veneer, we want to tab in this bulkhead. But before we can tab in this bulkhead, we have to fix this bulkhead. And after we fix the bulkhead, we need to repair the bulkhead, we need to tab it in, then we need to install the plywood. So it was a fun little game, and now Jordan's going crazy and trying to tear things up.
Yeah, so we need to basically cut out a section of this bulkhead, replace it with good wood, and go from there. And then we're going to tab the whole thing in to the structure of the boat. But trying to figure out how to cut this out the best way. As you can see, it's coming apart here on this side, but on the other side there is a plastic coating that I want to keep intact. So I want to be able to just replace the wood, keep the plastic coating intact. As you can see, all that area is ripped out. That was all kind of the bad area that was delaminating because of rot, and then this area kind of still needs to be cut out, so I'm going to do kind of a diagonal. And then this whole area needs to be cut out, and you can kind of see why right there. It's just mush. So once we get all those areas cut out, then we can get new plywood to glue back in place with thickened epoxy, then fair it all smooth, and then we can tab it all in right there. So the original manufacturer didn't tab any of this in. Endeavor didn't tab that in, but I figured can't hurt, so we're gonna tab it in. Just made a dumb mistake. When I cut out this area right here, the blade depth on the saw I was using was perfect. It was cutting the exact depth that I wanted to. It didn't cut through the plastic. So I went ahead and I cut out this area down here. As you can see. And it looks,
one continuous wall piece.
that's all one continuous wall. And it looks, you know, pretty good from this side. When you look at it from the other side, you can see that it went through this plastic Formica coating right here. So now I have a cutout on this wall that I was hoping not to have. So we've cut out so much that we're looking at the bulkhead and they're thinking,
like, why not just replace the whole thing? We saved like half of it,
yeah,
maybe. Like, I'm thinking like percentage wise, probably saved half of it.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we just replace the whole thing.
Yeah, especially because it's like the bottom part that holds the weight is the part that needs to be replaced.
Yeah.
Might just be best to get a new piece.
Yeah, maybe we'll just tear it out tomorrow. So we had just finished cleaning the boat prior to deciding that the next step in our process was going to be taking apart that bulkhead. And then obviously that created another mess. So that's part of refitting a boat while you're living on it. You are constantly having to clean up. Like, I had just vacuumed everything, wiped everything down, getting rid of all the dust and debris from before, and then we started another project. So that's just part of living aboard and refitting. So we've decided to actually replace this whole bulkhead instead of doing just sections of it. We did realize that we are going to have to put it in 2 pieces because it will not fit through the companionway, the whole 4x8 sheet. But before we do that, we need to take this table down so that we can take off the old bulkhead. So that table is now over there, and now we have to remove this shelf. And to do that, we have to drill out these bungs that are, I think you can see one right there, right above my finger. We have to drill out these bungs and unscrew this shelf. The screws aren't accessible without drilling those bungs out. We resorted to try to removing the bulkhead with the shelf on it still. We'll try to remove the shelf afterwards. Outside right now too. Woo! We're going for open concept here.
Where you can see right in when someone's going to the bathroom.
We're all friends here.
Woo! Does that need to be cleaned or what? Yeah.
I've got it right and I got it wrong, but I learned my lesson hanging on. Come sit here with me by the fire and let it go for a little.
Hey, Uncle Gene, what do you think about that shirt?